Hello everybody, Chris Overstreet, the Redneck Gaijin here, and it's time for more Kerbal Space Program. In fact, I've already got started a little bit. The reason being that I went to design a combination Minmus lander and satellite package that would have all the science I could cram on it, and I figured out that I didn't quite have the parts to actually make it safely flyable. And not the Delta V either, so that's going to be a thing we're going to have to work on. And with that in mind, here we are. We're starting out tonight with more science mining. And there's our pony scientists, Sweetie Belle and Fluttershy, going out to get us more of the good stuff. Okay, Sweetie is... I have to wonder how they managed to make a smaller Kerbal body for the Cutie Mark Crusaders. Alright, let's go ahead and recover vessel and pocket that science. We might have to do some more in a minute. So, what I need is struts. And struts only cost 45. Okay. Alright, this is what I was working with earlier. I've made the rocket even longer, unfortunately. I say unfortunately with feeling because it's not a good idea. But the main thing I'm concerned about is this right here. Well, that and the fact that, well, our TWR off the ground ain't great. 1.09, which means we're losing efficiency there. This ain't great, and and the more I look at it, the less I'm liking it. So now let's scrap everything below the afterburn stage here. So okay. TWR at the start is 1.39, which is good. Once this burns out, then we're looking at 1.38 after that. Good. But then after that, we are on terriers instead of swivels. So let's look at how they are in vacuum. Yeah. This will have the juice. Okay, we're back, and I have verified that no, I have not bought into the proper tech. And I'm also verifying right now this is a damn expensive rocket. So before we launch this edition anyplace, let me go back to the mission control and see what we're getting out of that satellite contract. We have the money to blow if we really want to on this, but I would much rather not. If I can make money back. Okay, yeah, the satellite contract will more than pay for this one rocket. So, that having been said, you keep saying that sort of thing. What we're going to do is we are going to not land on Minmus yet. This one isn't going to land, but it is going to go up there and get the low Minmus science that we missed for not having the satellite on. Scootaloo, scootaloo. Let's make this a 2/3 CMC mission. Alright. Oh, this is crackety already, isn't it? Okay. Minmus set target. Gonna want to try to fly this thing a bit north of east, but we'll see. And we're flying in 3, 2, 1, fire. This is not looking good. We are too low. We are too fucking low. And getting worse. So far, not great. Okay, at least we're in space. And I absolutely forgot to take any science coming up. Just completely slipped my mind. Which means that's not going to be useful until on the way down. And the one good thing about this is it does provide plenty of Delta V to get us out to Minmus. That's not the problem. And trans-Minmus injection in 2, 1, fire. And there's our actual trajectory. There we go. Okay, kill that. There's no atmosphere up here, so we can't do atmosphere analysis. No surprise at all there. And there's no ground, so we can't do the seismology either. Everything else, though, we can do and will do when we get low enough to do it. And it did it again without me zooming. It just does it for whatever reason when we cross into... Okay, we've already done that one. Okay, did not do that one, so keep that. Keep that, and that's worth a lot. As is that. Those, the Science Junior and the Goo by themselves are enough to get us the cargo pods for landing science. All right. Sweetie Belle just toodles right over here. There we go. And EVA report, we've already got that one. There we go. All set. All right. It's close, but not in the gold yet. That will actually put us into orbit. It'll take some more tweaking to get into the orbit that we want for the thing. Since that's a day away, let's go ahead and go back to the Space Center real quick and check for any more Minmus contracts that we can pick up. Preferably Minmus landing contracts. Okay, available. Surface outpost on Eve. Hell no. Only 2 stars. That's friggin' ridiculous. Finished construction of a rover on the surface of Minmus. Okay. And that is a lot of money. Only trivial, but a lot of money. So, first, let's see where it's located. If it's in a bad spot, then it's in a bad spot, but move the rover. What it's missing is power. It's barely got a battery, and it's got no antennas, so we're going to want to bring in a battery, and it's got an antenna. It needs a solar panel. But more to the point, it's on the flats, which means the landing next to it is going to be very easy, comparatively speaking. Okay, map. Switch to. The bigger problem is we want a pilot and a scientist and an engineer and surface gear and repair shit. That's a lot. That is a lot. 4, 3, 2, just a trickle, fire. Ditch the garbage. Still showing on the mark. Now get on retrograde. Satellite contract is complete. And having done that, we will zero out our rotation, or velocity. Yeah, it does it automatically. That time when we went suborbital, it did it. What we're going to do is we're going to get a polar orbit. And we're going to get EVA reports of the polar regions. us a burn. I could dink around with it and make it more efficient, but it's good enough and it's within our budget. So, okay. Now leaving Minmus. And I believe the next time we come here, it will be to land. Wrong button. Periapsis is a little bit too low. All right. Okay. That's the end of the fuel. All right. That little can has all our science now. What just went boom? The atmospheric analyzer just went boom. Okay. Well, we got the upper atmosphere reading before it went, so that's something. It wasn't an absolute loss yet. Looks like nothing else is going to blow up, which means all we got to do is put this puppy on the ground safely. Okay, we need to slow down now. Okay. All has gone well. Except for losing a very expensive piece of equipment, but we weren't going to get much money back from it anyway, since we're literally on the opposite side of the planet from KSC. Coming down in a tree. Yeah, it's a good thing the parachutes are intangible, isn't it? There. Yeah. Seismology. I didn't have a seismology from Kerbin's Grasslands. Okay. And, no. EVA is U. EVA report. Already had that from the Grassland surface sample. Did not have that. Reboard. Recover vessel. And let's see what we can spend on new science stuff. 160.2 science earned for a total of 194 in the bank. That is 2 tier 90 things, which is nice. So definitely one of the tier 90s is the storage stuff. But I'm still short for that. These decisions are difficult. This is the one I really want right here. What I want and what I need. But I can't get it yet. So Yeah, that's not where the camera is, kid. If you're gonna barge into the stream, be more photogenic, why don't you, huh? All right. That is so uncanny valley, you know? And that little bit of science mining, there's not much left around the KSC that we can mine with this current equipment. So, okay, that takes us up to a total of 160. That's not enough. That is insufficient. Or no, it's exactly what we need, because we do have this precursor cleared. So, research. Thank you. Buy the lander can. Buy the friggin' heat shield. Oh, wait. Actually, that's wrong, because this is going to be 30. This is a very expensive test of concept. Ponies not allowed on board. This means you Rainbow Dash. 300. Oh, God. Why the hell did they stick it there? Well, that takes the cake. We're going to need all the ground science that we can grab from what we've got to get this, so we can go back to the ground. Make sure there's nobody on board, Cherry. Oh, and we need antennas. I'm forgetting antennas. We're going to launch this thing into a free return trajectory around Mun, and then just let it come straight on back in at whatever speed it wants to. And we'll see what happens. Alright, and this monstrosity is flying in 3, 2, 1, fire. We're probably not going to get to keep that, but if we can keep it, that's fine, because that's one piece of equipment we can take off future iterations of this if this succeeds. Okay, this is an invalid result, to put it mildly. That showed empty fuel on the 2 disposables, damn it. Actually, we're not going fast enough for the heat shield to make a damn. Let's just recover what we can, and then we'll do this again with a little bit less weight. You can start slowing down any time now, please. Uh-oh. Okay, that's a big problem. Aerodynamics are shit. There. That's not a good sign, by the way, the fact that it immediately nosed in like that. There. Okay. So first things first, we've got the basic atmospheric science from Kerbin without going into all the different biomes and what have you, so that goes away now. Uncrewed mission flight test in 3, 2, 1, fire. First set of boosters about ready to be jettisoned. Done. And where I screwed up was I was looking at this one down here. I forgot that these are all supposed to burn out at more or less the same time. I shouldn't have hit the button. Wait for full burnout. Better. These Terriers are having to do a bigger lift than the Minmus trip had, so yeah, right now they've only got a TWR of 0.6. So further down the ball would not be a good idea right now. And what I'm seeing at the moment is, because these Terriers are too wimpy, this doesn't have the Delta V fully loaded for a MUN landing. Or at least not a safe one. Because we'd have to tap into the landing stage to get MUN orbit, never mind a landing. The math just does not math. In order for an all-in-one lander that isn't your Apollo LEM type, I want 2,400 meters per second of Delta V from MUN orbit to the surface, back to MUN orbit, and then back to Kerbin. That gives me a good bit of safety margin in case I have to correct the landing for some reason, like, for example, coming down on too steep a slope. And this is just barely going to have enough left in the tank, maybe, for the translunar injection. The burn to get lunar orbit and everything else would have to come from the landing stage, and the landing stage currently maxes out at 2102 meters per second. Long story short, this bit's too heavy. But for a free return trajectory flyby, this will still function. And that's the main point of this flight, is testing the survivability of this monstrosity. Good. Okay, that's the burn, more or less. It's really an ugly free return trajectory, but it does... We're high above the moon. It slingshots us back around, more or less. And like that. Something else is wrong with this. No goo canisters, no Science Junior. So that's a problem. I guess these shielded legs come from one of the near future mods. I installed, I think, all but one of them. I forget which one I didn't install. Probably something along the lines of aerodynamics, because I almost never build planes in this game, because I'm crap at building planes in this game. And even worse at flying them. Alright. Okay, get the solar panels where they do some good. There. Electric charge is fine. I could pull the monoprop out of the booster cans, but that wouldn't save me that much weight. And there's the curlicue of our free return trajectory, which from Mun's point of view looks like this, but we'll really be slapping on the brakes and coming straight back down, which is the whole idea. Yes, Cat, I'm aware of your existence. I am vividly... Oh! Are you Mama Cat? Okay, that's a first. Mama Cat's never got on the table asking for attention before. She usually sticks to the floor because she's too timid. Anyway. Alright, normally on return to Kerbin, I would use whatever fuel was left in the tank to... I would use whatever's left in the tank to slow down my re-entry to make it safer. We're not doing that this time because the whole purpose of this flight is to get a worst-case scenario of what this thing will have to endure. And remember, the failed test we did earlier, where the nose went in once it started coming down, that doesn't speak well for how this is going to end up. There. Sir Isaac Newton is driving, and he's a bastard. This is the hottest re-entry we've done at all so far in this playthrough. I had an initial periapsis of 39K. That might have been too high. Because we're about to hit our periapsis and start sailing back upwards. Yep. We are now ascending. But we're still deep enough in that we will get captured. We are coming down on this pass. Apoapsis drops into the atmosphere now. Periapsis is plunging for the ground. Apoapsis is at 43.5 kilometers. We're at 41.5. Those two numbers are going to meet very shortly. Okay, we are coming down for the final time. Okay, it's getting harder to hold this thing in the retrograde attitude as the soup gets thicker. A lot harder. Okay. The extra reaction wheels are the only thing that's preventing this thing from flipping. But they are doing that. Just slow down a little bit more, and I can pop the chutes, and it will no longer be a problem. Okay, chutes are green, so anytime. Okay, and now it's slowed down enough to where things are holding steady again. Okay, this is survivable. That's the good news. The bad news is I need to add some more weight to it. Which means I've got to find some more Delta V from someplace or other. God damn. And I tell you the truth, I honestly did not expect this thing to survive. And it floats without having to dump the heat shield. That's fine by me. Oh, shush. And out of that 75,000 Kerbal rocket, we recovered 3,500. So, yeah, money took a hit. Well, we're doing the Mun satellite anyway. I thought I had a satellite contract take. Here it is. Repair a satellite in orbit of Kerbin. We're going to combine those two and use that to train up some of our pilots, especially our engineer, get them ready for future missions. And thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate the attention and support. Until then, this has been Chris Overstreet, the Redneck Guy Gene. Catch you later. Take it easy, everybody.